Hello, everybody. This is Sophia Mona Lisa, and this is the day that I've been waiting for to bring this big announcement to you. Of course, today is the 19th of May, the new moon in Taurus. So this is exciting. And what this announcement is all about are some very creative quantum embodiment opportunities that came through to me from that Uranus Sun conjunction in Taurus back on May 9th, where the cosmic Sophia just inspired me to create these new opportunities for everybody, especially those that are been working with me on the Galactic New Earth project. We're doing so much work in terms of, bringing each strand of DNA online. As each one comes online, there are spiritual gifts at higher frequencies that the body has to integrate and to be able to use, to have access to them. And so, what I've discovered actually is that while people are showing up to hear the messages, the beautiful messages from the sacred feminine that Carol, my co-facilitator, has been bringing forth, uh, the people are not actually doing the work by going to, taking their own personal journeys to the Venus temples to engage the repairing, reconnecting, regeneration process for each of these strands of DNA. And so, I've been very concerned about this because I've come to this planet to specifically help humanity bridge from separation consciousness into unity consciousness. This is the big theme of why I'm here on this planet. And I've been really desiring in a deep, deep way for another pathway in which the people that are attracted to this work, that are consciously engaged with their ascension process, can fully embody all of these changes that are happening within us at the structural level within our sacred vessels, in terms of these strands of DNA coming online, the spiritual gifts that are uniquely coded to them, that are now available to them, the shift from the carbon DNA, carbon-based DNA, to the crystalline structure of DNA, really deeply desiring for people to just claim this for themselves, to consciously engage it and integrate it in embodiment. And this is the piece that Sophia has given me because of this deep desire, this deep yearning that I've been holding onto since about November, December of last year, 2022. So I'm really thrilled to share this with you. Now, this is my website, goldenraycenter.com. And if you go to the Galactic New Earth menu option and you hit the little drop down button, you're going to see a whole new page here called Quantum Embodiment Opportunities. And I've actually been given 3 different ways that this can transpire. I'm super, super excited about the first option, which I'm going to talk about today, and then I'll give you a reference to the other 2 options that are also available. So if you've been to my website recently, what you're going to want to do is hit this little refresh button here. It's that little circular arrow there. Hit the refresh button so that when you click on this drop down arrow, you'll see these new pages that I've been adding to my website. So the first option that Sophia gave to me is called Conscious Equal Partnership with the Leo Royalty Goddess. There's a specific reason why she gave me this name for this option. And it's because of the fact that we are going to be offering this option August 13th through the 19th. And that August 13th is the day of the metamorphic seed point, where we bring that 12th and final strand online. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in the next slides. So what Sophia inspired me to do is to go back to the breath. And if you've listened to any of the messages from the Sacred Feminine and also from Yeshua that Carol's been bringing through with this Galactic New Earth project, they always talk about going back to the breath. And so for those of you that aren't aware, I am actually a certified facilitator of a breathwork style that was previously known as Breath of Love and is now in its evolved form called Soul Linement. This work was brought onto the planet by Julia Mick, who is just an amazing woman of light. And what's really exciting for me is just synchronistically, July 5th, I'll be having my 12-year anniversary of being a certified facilitator for this style of breath work. Now, let me just explain a little something here. This style of breath work is what I call a yen style. It is not at all like other breath work modalities that you may be familiar with, which are much more yang, much more catalyzing than this style. So in this context, I'm speaking to shamanic breath work. I'm speaking to rebirthing type of breath work. I'm speaking to any of the yogic breath works, particularly, for instance, in Kundalini yoga, maybe even the breath work that you would be familiar with in terms of Qigong type. This is completely different, a different experience altogether. And so if you want to know a little bit more about Soul Alignment, here's the link that you can go to. And that link will be on my webpage as well. And so what's super thrilling is that we're going to be having this week-long event at the Heartland Haven Ranch in Apopka, Florida. And I'm going to speak to that just a little bit more also in the next slides. Okay, so here we go. The fact that this event is built around that August 13th metamorphic seed point. The metamorphic underworld where this seed point transpire is the fourth and final phase of a 19-month synodic cycle for Venus. And we see here through this image that this is the sacred geometry that Venus's dance with the sun creates in the sky. And right in the very center of it, we call this the rose. Right in the very center of the rose, you'll see an image that looks like the 5-pointed pentagram. And when Venus is moving from the point of one petal to the point of the next petal, that's a 19-month journey. The journey that Venus has to go through to complete all of these petals to make the rose is an 8-year journey. This is big juju. And so on August 13th, when we're in the final phase of this Capricorn sovereignty goddess Venus synodic cycle, what happens is that Venus and the sun come together in the underworld. And we know that the underworld is very alchemical, very transformative. And so what happens at this seed point is that the Capricorn sovereignty goddess becomes the Leo royalty goddess. And in your mind, you might be able to associate with the analogy of the caterpillar who gets, builds the chrysalis around it. And in the chrysalis, the caterpillar is alchemized from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And this is the alchemical process that will happen on August 13th when the Capricorn sovereignty goddess becomes the Leo royalty goddess. And then the Leo royalty goddess will be on the world stage for the next 19 months as she moves from that petal of in the sky to down, let's just say down here, to the next petal in the sky. And so the other important piece of this is that on this date, when Venus and Sun come together in the underworld for this alchemical process, this is where that 12th strand of DNA is coming online. So this whole piece of the magic is being built into this week known as the conscious equal partnership with the Leo royalty goddess. Okay. Now, I mentioned that we're having this week at the Heartland Haven Ranch in Apopka, Florida. And the creator of this ranch is this amazing woman, Angela Jackson. Angela Jackson is an equus coach, equus therapy coach. She's also certified as a life coach. And all of the horses in the herd at this ranch are therapy horses. And I had my own first experience with Angela in a private session with the horse that I now sponsor, Millie, way back in September of 2021. So I've been with Millie for over a year and a half now. It'll be 2 years come September. This is transformational work because you're tapping into the field of horse wisdom. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the Galactic New Earth Project and have been showing up, Carol Billets, again, another amazing woman who channels Yeshua since the time she was a child and was channeling Yeshua through the first part of our Galactic New Earth Project when we were showing up at the Venus temples to install the rose gold Christos Sophia light codes into each of the Venus temple, and who is now with this next phase of the Galactic New Earth Project where these strands of DNA are coming online, has been channeling various aspects of the sacred feminine. Sophia, Isis, Lilith, Mother Mary, the Lady of the Cave, on and on and on. And so both of these incredible women will be joining us on this journey. So this is the thing that you can get out of this incredible week that we're going to spend together. But first of all, before I talk about that, I want to show you this picture of me with Millie and with Lincoln. And if you look closely, you will see around us the light codes. And I have another picture of Millie with me where you can see the light codes. And I've taken pictures of other horses at the ranch where you can see the light codes showing up around them. This is very powerful medicine. So the first thing we're going to do on that first night, Sunday, August 13th, is we're going to have a full-blown metamorphic ceremony. And this is so yummy to me because it takes me back again to my roots with the Hindu practices of doing pujas with the goddesses, the gods and goddesses. So it'll be a very puja style ceremony. Then, because the foundation of this week to help with the integration and the embodiment of all of these higher frequencies that we're bringing in from our multidimensional self, and that this sacred vessel requires the space to fully integrate and embody, you will get from me 10 group alignment sessions. I will be facilitating those. So from Monday through Friday, 2 group sessions each day. Now we'll be starting those days, Monday through Friday, with a morning horse meditation circle that will be led by Angela in the round pen. And one of the herd members by the name of Daisy, we call her our Zen master. She will come into the round pen with us and will be actively engaged with us through that entire horse meditation process. Then later in the evening, I'm just feeling this within myself, and it's just bubbling up. Later in the evening, we will have sacred circles where Carol will be channeling messages from the sacred feminine. So we're going to hear from Sophia. We're going to hear from Isis. We're going to hear from Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and Mary Magdalene's daughter, Sarah. This is going to be spectacular. And what also is included in this week will be 2 private shamanic astrological readings by me. These will be 30-minute readings where I will give you a soul mission reading, which is critical because if you've seen my most recent information, what's happening through this process is the goddess Sedna is actually transmuting our inner resources, our inner skills, our inner tools, our spiritual gifts to this higher level where we're now able to start doing the soul missions that we came here to this planet to do, not bound within the constraints of the 3D reality, but we're going to be doing these soul missions from the 5D plus reality. And so it's really important for everybody to know why they came here to the planet, to know that soul mission. And for those that have had soul mission readings, let me assure you, every time I do a reading for somebody, you receive what you, as an embodiment of your soul, is ready to hear to take you forward on your path. And so if you've already had a soul mission reading, fear not. This is not a piece that you're missing because you're going to be receiving the next big piece about your soul mission that you are ready to hear at this newly expanded and space and at this higher vibrational set point. Everybody will also get a metamorphic seed point or 12th strand DNA activation reading with me. And there have been some people from the 3rd strand of DNA through the most recent strand of DNA that's come online, the 8th strand of DNA, that have been getting these DNA activation readings for with me. And it's just been blowing my mind. It's been blowing their mind. And what they've been doing is really revealing to me how this galactic new earth project has been unfolding through all of us, again, through that new earth reality. And of course, the price of your week with us will include daily snacks, and I should have put beverages. You will receive a Heartland Haven Foundation short, and we get the use of the Heartland Haven Ranch property. So this is really just so much value packed in to this 7-day event. I guess it's 6-day event, 6 days and 7 nights. Wasn't there a movie by that name, 7 days and 6 nights? I don't know. Anyhow, these are the other two options that are available. If you're not able to come spend this power-packed week with us for these quantum leap breakthroughs, then what I've done is I've set up another alternative for you called the Deep Dive with the Compassionate Heart. And I've scheduled with Angela 2 weekends in July. Sometimes it's easier for people to get off for a weekend than it is for a week. You'll get pretty much the same stuff that you're going to get in the week long. The big difference is that Carol will not be with us on those weekends. She's having to book time off from work to be able to come and spend that week with us on the ranch. And let me tell you, she was so ecstatic when I told her about this creation that Sophia has brought through me. She was giddy, let me tell you. It really warmed my heart to hear how thrilled she was about being able to come up here from South Florida to do this work with us. And then if you're not able to travel for the week in August or the 2 weeks in July, 2 weekends in July, then the third option is called For the Expansion of the Multidimensional Self by the Embodiment of Love. And this is a virtual program where you will be doing work with me online. It will include a soul mission reading because that's the big piece everybody needs to understand about themselves. It will include the 10 DNA activation readings, but more than that, because this was the piece that really had me desiring something new and big, I will personally, after each DNA activation reading, I will be personally guiding that person to the Venus temple where that strand of DNA comes online. And I will be using the quantum quartz technology that I know about through this particular Vogel crystal that I've talked about a lot in the Galactic New Earth Project to facilitate the repairing and the regeneration of their strand of DNA from their divine template to the strand of DNA in their sacred vessel. So all three options are really super duper options. I will tell you that the week in August and the 2 weekends in July are a one-off opportunity. I will not be doing those again. And so if you're interested in this quantum embodiment opportunity, you will then have to rely on the virtual opportunity, which in and of itself is also really juicy. So if you want to know more about these three options, especially that week in August at the ranch with Carol and with Angela and the herd, go to this link here, goldenraycenter.com/quantum embodiment opportunities to read all about them. And I'm super, super excited for you to join me in this sacred space to do this next level of breakthrough, which is all a part of this like 12-strand DNA piece of the Galactic New Earth Project. Now, I will tell you, I'm not sure yet what's going to come up around this project with the Leo goddess. I didn't expect this piece to come up. I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be complete. But Sophia is creating so much through me that I have to birth it in stages. And so there may be another piece to this project when that Leo goddess comes onto the world stage. But for right now, this is the vision. This is the pathway that I've been shown. So I'm really excited about you stepping up and claiming this opportunity for yourself and joining me for this really transformational work. So thank you for listening to this announcement. Please give it a thumbs up so that other people can see it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Roseville Mystery School. Ring the bell so you get more content from me. And of course, if you need to reach me, then you want to email me at sophiamonalisa79@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time around. Bye-bye.